And what happens in November? Well, we have Thanksgiving coming up, and I've got me a couple of these little pie pumpkins, and I am fixing to make them into some pumpkin pie mix. So make sure you stay tuned for this, because with the price of pumpkin at the store, you know, your mix, your puree, hey, this is going to be your cheapest bet this year, guys. So I got to get these pumpkins cut in half and my oven turned on to 400 degrees, and we'll get busy making some pumpkin pie mix. Okay, I got the pumpkins cut in half, both of them. There's 2 pumpkins there. Now I'm just going to take them, seeds and all. Okay, last time I done this, I actually took the seeds out first, but actually you don't have to. We're going to put those both on there, and hopefully I can get them both to fit. There. That should work, just like that. And they're going to go in the oven at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes. And then we'll go from there. So make sure you stay tuned, and I'll be back here in a few minutes when those are done. Hey guys, they are out of the oven. Actually, I left them in the oven longer than a half hour. It was more like probably about 45 minutes. So, but I checked them, and they are hot. Here's one of them right here that you can see. My son asked me, "Hey Mom, you should have took the seeds out and used them for next year," which now I can't, but I'm going to be baking the pumpkin seeds, so they'll work for that. But if you want to save the seeds, definitely take them out prior to baking them. But if you want to bake them, you know, bake your pumpkin seeds, you can leave them in there, because they're just going to go back in the oven. So I'm going to try and scrape that out, and it may still be a little bit too hot. I'll find out. Okay, so I just got me a little pie tin here that I'm going to try to scrape out those seeds out of there. Like I say, I may have to wait a little bit and let these cool off a little bit more, because they are still pretty warm. But I will try to get them out of there, and then I'll just have to, you know, rinse these off and get the pumpkin out of them before I can bake them, obviously. But hey, okay, yeah, they are really hot right now. I'm just in a little bit of a hurry, that's all. So I'm trying to get this done before everyone shows back up at my house, because then it makes recording a little bit more difficult when you have other people around. Okay, so we'll go around this way and get the seeds out here. And it is hot. So let me get the seeds all out of here, and then we'll continue. Stay tuned, hit that like and subscribe. Okay, that's what I have there for the innards of the pumpkin, all those seeds and everything. So I'll get those rinsed off and deal with those later. Put them to the side. Now I have me a bowl right here. Get you aimed down maybe a little bit. My kitchen's so small, guys. Trying to get, you know, do a video in it sometimes is challenging, but, you know, I manage. And like I say, it is still really hot to have to deal with, so I think I'm going to have to go ahead and let it cool off a little bit so I don't burn my fingers here. So I'm going to do that. There's some right there that I have in the bowl, and as soon as that's cooled, I can finish making this pumpkin pie filling. Okay guys, I got all of the pumpkin meat into a bowl here, and next I have my blender right here, and I'm going to just start putting in some of that pumpkin meat, right? Is it called meat or pulp? What do you call it, guys? I'm not even sure. So I'm going to put some in there. Let's see. And hopefully I can mix this up. There's something going on with my blender, I think. It may be time for a new one. But I've got to get this all pulverized. So hopefully it won't die out on me. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I had to resort to my hand mixer here because my blender started smoking. So I think it's probably about time for another blender. But I'm going to do my best here with this hand blender and get this pulverized. And I see a seed down there. I want to get that seed out of there. So I'll keep doing this and get it all blended, and I'll return. Well, it seems to be working. It's kind of thick, but it is getting it mixed up and pureed, guys. So, you know, hey, work with what you have. And I got pumpkin on my stove. Okay, for the next step, I will grab what I need and we'll get to making this pumpkin pie mix. Okay, next into that, I'm going to add in 1 1/4 cups of some brown sugar. Any brown sugar will work. If you like dark, if you like light. I'm using light. Your homemade brown sugar. I need to make me some more homemade brown sugar because I used all of it. The stuff was so good. Okay, now into that, I'm just going to be adding in, we're going to call it probably a couple teaspoons of cinnamon. Well, maybe I'll just put 1 in there. We'll go with 1 1/2. Just for good measures. But here I have some pumpkin pie mix here, which has, you know, the cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, all that other, you know, it kind of saves time. So I'm just going to add me in probably a couple teaspoons of that as well. And just, you know, like maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Don't need too much. And I'm going to turn this back on and get that all mixed up together. Really good. And I'll shut the camera off so you don't have to hear that annoying sound of the blender going. And I'll be right back, guys. Now, guys, I forgot one other ingredient, and we're going to add in a tablespoon of cornstarch into that. I'll just put a couple teaspoons. That's a tablespoon, right? And I'm just going to mix that up in there because I put the little hand mixer already in the sink. So, but right there it is. Now all I got to do is put it into this freezer bag and keep it for when I'm going to use it, which will be at Thanksgiving. And then I'll just add like 3 eggs into it and probably about a quarter cup of milk, and I should get me a couple of pies out of this, guys. And let me tell you, it's way cheaper than buying that pumpkin mix at the store, or you know, even your store-bought pies, because that kind of stuff this year is pretty expensive. And hey, if you can save some money this year, do it. So right here is my freezer bag. I'll put a label on it, put the date on it, and it can go right in the freezer. So anyway, guys, that's how you can make your own homemade pumpkin pie mix.